Hello. Good evening. Welcome back, Sallies, to another episode of Hunter the Reckoning 5th Edition, Draining the Swamp. We return again to Morgan City, Louisiana and the surrounding areas, but not the real Morgan City, Louisiana. This is not the city of offshore oil workers and fanboat bayou tours, though those things certainly dress the windows of our lens. Our chronicle exists in the alternate, grittier, world of darkness version of Morgan City, Louisiana, a place where monsters of myth and legend live among mortals and influence their affairs for their own benefits. A place where something dark and brooding lives hidden just outside of our vision and calls to the deepest fear of our souls. But this is not the chronicle of that monster or of those monsters or of the world of darkness, Morgan City. This is the chronicle of four mortals who have seen through the monster's miserable masquerade and are driven to reach in the shadows and bring the dark things to light. It is a horror story that incorporates and includes mature themes and content, including but not limited to body horror, graphic violence, blood, death, power imbalances, social injustice, drug use, and in some cases, references to sexual activity. Please be advised, this chronicle is for mature audiences only. If you're prepared to hear language that may not be suitable for the time and place you're viewing this chronicle, or hear hunters address themes that might cause chills to run down your spine, then come walk with me through the Spanish moss, listen to the sound of the skeeters, and let's tell a hunter story. Hello, everyone that is watching live, though I don't think we have anyone right now, so I'm waving at nobody, but I'm going to pretend like people are there. Cool. Welcome back to this episode of our game, Draining the Swamp. We are on episode 6, which means we have a lot of things happening for us and a lot of unfinished frayed ends of rope that need to get tied up. So, let's get through some of that. Covering where we're at. Our heroes, our hunters, capital H, have been investigating all kinds of stuff. And in the last episode, while they thought they were onto something, they found out that they were actually not. That they had been tricked because of some insurance scam or lie or something. And they ended up at a factory full of homeless people, at which they met a person, Bargain Basement Blade, as we kind of referred to him as, and he introduced them to his grandmother, or some such person that he claimed she was, who turned out to be a mystical person, potentially a voodoo practitioner. But not only that, she owns a chicken place and makes good food. But not only that, she is one of the original hunters from 7 years ago who fought the evil and did the things. But her knowledge and information led the group to understand that they are into something much deeper than they thought, and exposed them to a whole bunch of information that they didn't know before. So they have a better idea of what they're dealing with here in Morgan City, and a better idea of why everything is so weird and dark, and that gave them some insight. They have some paths and goals now to go walk down, and I think today we will start to see that play out. But the one thing that they're trying to figure out is, with the new group of bad peoples, what are they doing? And they now have a good idea that perhaps they are going to the old temple and doing something there. So that's where we open up. They slept the night away in the safe area, the grounds and grass outside of Mama Gigi's chicken shack by Lake Pollard, while Dr. Dreyfus was missing for a while, because the last 2 episodes have occurred in the same night. It has been one night. So that's it. If you go to bed as a hunter, you wake up in the morning and find out that all kinds of bad stuff just happened while you were sleeping. That's why they don't sleep. That's why they don't sleep.
Oh man, no breakfast.
I'm not a young man, so I need my sleep.
How does Dr. Dreyfus feel waking up to an empty house?
He's a little concerned. He looks around to see if there were any notes or anything left. No.
I think there was a text message that Joseph shot off, if I remember correctly. That he shot off a text message kind of giving an idea that something was up and that they were going to look into it. If I remember. So you do have some information, but I think the text was a little bit, I think it was before, it wasn't before the facility. It was after the facility. I think it was before the werewolf run-in that turned out to be not so true. I think that's when the text was sent. It was like, we've got something happening, and we're gonna go take care of it.
I mean, Dr. Dreyfus is kind of the guy who keeps his cell phone turned off at night. So that whole being on call thing, this is new. And so I guess he'll just send something to the group text with his little, hitting the 2 button 3 times and all of that. On his flip phone, and he painfully slowly gets a "Where are you fellows?" ? Actually, no question mark, all lowercase.
Perfect.
But "you" is completely spelled out.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he an early riser, or has he slept in?
No, he's probably an early riser. I'm imagining he probably has to get up to go to the bathroom, so so he does what he's got to do, and then looks for the paper that doesn't get delivered to this place but is still a habit. Wonders where everybody is, turns on his phone and gets the text, and then responds to you guys. So he probably gets up around, let's see. He's kind of a dick as a professor, so he'd definitely have 8 o'clock classes. So yeah, he probably gets up at like 6:30.
So we have barely gone to bed.
Yeah, like 3 hours after you guys went to sleep. Yeah, because I think it was something like 2 a.m. or whatever when you guys are meeting with Mama Gigi. She was shutting down the shack. Yeah, yeah. So yeah.
I would roll at disadvantage or something to see if I hear my ringer, because I am very much on call all the time.
Okay. Why don't you? How are we gonna do this?
mean,
I guess what we would do, and I closed my Discords, stupid of me, would be to have you probably just make a wits and awareness roll, and if you get like say 3 hits or so, then you hear it. Otherwise, you're too tired and you don't wake up, and you'll have to listen to it. You'll hear it when you wake up, or when you wake up, you'll get the message. What am I doing? I have a second computer over here.
that would be a 6 and a 10, so a success and a critical.
Nice. And I'm like trying to open Discord over on my computer, and I realize that I have a phone that connects to Discord, and I have another computer right behind me. I'm like, what am I doing?
Alas, when you only roll 1 critical,
Alas.
you only
Tragic.
have a success.
Sorry,
But,
everyone at home that's seeing this like really delayed video because I'm trying to open OBS when I shouldn't have, or not OBS, Discord when I shouldn't have.
Come on, man.
I know. It's like I haven't been doing this for a couple of months now.
So do I stay asleep?
No, yes, you do. You do stay asleep. You do not wake up
Okay.
to the sound.
Blissfully.
Cool.
There we
We
go.
sleep till like
All
2
right, we're back.
o'clock. Dr. Dreyfus is in an absolute panic.
I mean, you
Yeah.
probably wake up a little earlier than you intended.
Yeah, because we're outside, so the
You were
sun's gonna
outside,
rise.
so the sun is gonna start beating down on you. Mama Gigi's like Chicken Shack will get into lunch swing at least. That's probably when it opens. Not breakfast. They're not a breakfast place, and certainly they're a dinner place. But they probably will open somewhere earlier than dinner, right? Just
There's got to be some kind of breakfast offering. I just feel like that
that's
place
fair.
would have some kind of crazy bomb breakfast.
And I mean, the
But-
whole point is that the family is always kind of around the lake, and that's the reason why the
Yeah.
shack even exists. So
Right.
yeah, I guess that makes
I
sense.
feel like
Like,
we're probably gonna get woken up by dogs.
Licking your
check.
face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not the big scary kind.
Yeah.
No.
Or a big scary dog, but gently licking your face.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I send a
biscuits.
text, and then I probably start looking into this this person that nobody has ever heard of, but somehow nailed a lecture gig locally that I might be investigating. But yeah, and I'll probably wait a while for you guys to get back to me.
All right. Based on the suggestion that there's got to be a breakfast offering, you guys only get to sleep a few more hours, maybe 2 more hours before, like, there's activity around the shack, kind of where you're parked and where you're sleeping. And so it starts to get, like, a little busy, and then someone probably, was it Ray, the name of the gentleman you met? Yeah. He's going to eventually come over and just kind of, like, gently boot you. Joseph probably, because he's a gentleman and he's not gonna boot the ladies.
Sure.
Gently boot you and say, "Hey, maybe you guys get up."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks, man. He's gonna get up, brush some grass off himself, make sure he's got everything in his pockets, and then I start shaking Alex and Ophelia awake. Hey, it's morning.
Then why are you waking me up?
We're in the way of the shack.
But it's morning.
Listen, it looks like Doctor it looks like we got a text in the group chat. You respond to him. I'm gonna go get us all some biscuits, some coffee, and then I think we're getting kicked out.
Coffee.
Oh no, you don't have to leave. You just
Yeah.
gotta, act like
Yeah,
normal
get out of the
people.
way.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
not be on your neck in the front of the place. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got biscuits and some other stuff, some potatoes, right? And they've got some eggs mixed in. But certainly
I've never been
grits.
so hungry in my fucking life.
Yeah.
Oh, grits.
Oh yeah, those New Orleans grits are no joke.
Yeah.
Mm.
Surely shrimp and grits. I mean, the Shrimp and Petroleum Festival just happened. Gotta
Yeah.
be.
Oh yeah.
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 Yep. Roll over, sit up, produce phone. Philia, you
Mm,
awake?
yeah, I'm awake.
Cool. Coffee.
Yep. Coffee. Oh.
And I will give the professor a call.
Yes, this is Dr. Dreyfus.
It's Alex.
Oh, well, so the text you had given us was a little cryptic.
Mm,
What?
thought-
Where are you?
I'm at a chicken shack by a lake.
Did somebody mention to us a chicken shack?
Weirdly, I think in the order of events, the ghost child mentioned a chicken shack.
Yes,
But,
that's who
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. A lot's happened, and a lot of them are gonna be, like, things people would want to hear over a phone. Like, people, not us. So I'm gonna send you a location. Do you want to come out here and get some chicken and some coffee, and we can, like, give you the deets on WTF happened?
All right, I will be there shortly.
Cool. Thanks. Cool.
Is it
Joseph
is it
from
a,
the
Hmm?
go.
is it a weekday?
It is. It's like Tuesday now.
Okay, yeah. So Bradley is probably teaching, so I will drive myself very carefully and safely to
Mhm.
the chicken place.
I also assume there's like a 10-minute interaction of me sending you a map pin and you being like, "What is this?" And finally, I just give you
Yeah.
directions.
And or even just and then like I fight with my GPS and because my phone does not have one
Mhm.
Obviously,
because
yeah.
I might have said it's a flip phone. So
Still has
Ah,
like a
perfect.
detachable Garmin that you suction cup to the windshield.
Oh.
yes.
And they don't
Yeah.
always work. So
yeah, it hasn't
it's a
been updated
50-50.
since 2011, so it's got old roads on it.
2011's generous.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I got this one in it's maybe about like 2008.
He's so
So-
lost. Other side of town, wrong chicken shop.
Yeah, there's
He's
it's
driven into the woods and now he can't back out because he's got the
He-
tires stuck
He
in the
turns
mud.
into that meme of the guy with the phone just like looking around really confused.
yes.
Yeah.
But I'll eventually get there. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
Cool.
completely incompetent with technology. I have one dot. Thank you.
Mm.
Oh, then you're better than, well, not me actually. I have quite a few. And surely somebody on this team.
Technology?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Oh, so you use a flip phone by choice, not by incompetence. Is what that one dot means. You just don't want a smartphone.
Oh yeah.
That's how
I'm
they
sure I
track
could
you.
Learn how to use one.
That's how they track you.
You know.
Homeboy's
I mean,
got
part
a
of it is
Nokia.
just being, just obstinate. Like I am not going to get one of these just because society tells me I need to.
That's fair. Society sucks.
Yeah.
We live in a society.
Oh no.
Bottom tech.
Can we please not have a Joker moment in the middle of this? I'm begging.
Joe's Joker arc.
Joe,
And
I've seen
that's-
your strength score. Your entire story's a Joker arc.
Oh, snap.
So I pull into
Plot
the chicken
twist.
shack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
goodness. You are not dead.
It's fairly active. You can see that it is literally a shack. They weren't lying when they said chicken shack. It is a shack. It very clearly does not have a business license. It is certainly one of those places that shouldn't exist and is technically illegal, but everyone in town knows it's there, and everyone in town gets their chicken from there. And so, like, they probably get technically hassled somewhere by some government person, some, city hall bureaucrat person that's like, oh, these are code violations. And they, like, shut down for, like, a weekend, and they're right back in action on Monday, right? Like, that kind of thing. The cops, if they show up, they're usually coming over and being like, can we just get 2 whole chickens, please? Like, thanks, and, like, take off. Like, that kind of situation.
They call ahead of time if they're going to have to come over and serve papers just
Yeah.
so that morning it's closed.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But it doesn't have any, like, it is a shack. There's cords that go off into the woods. You assume a generator or something is out there. There is rattling and sounds of that kind of nature. But it doesn't really have, like, lights. Instead of, like, fluorescent lights, it's got a whole bunch of different neon signs, like old, like, Coors signs and, like, just random bar signs that they've collected. And that's what the lighting is for the shack, which they usually turn on at night. It's the early morning, so they don't have to turn them on. But there are those hanging bug zappers that, zap all the skeeters and things that come flying around. And that's what you roll up on. To that, these people, your companions, and also other random people from town that are coming to get some of the biscuits and grits and other things that are being offered to this place.
I'm imagining there's probably like picnic tables around.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So I will procure some coffee and biscuits and grits and come and sit at the table with my companions.
Yeah. Welcome. Glad you're okay.
Should I not be?
I mean, we may have made several enemies last night, and when we were out here, we couldn't be sure they wouldn't raid the house. I was thinking about it. Yeah.
What enemies did you make?
Well, we further pissed off the werewolf bikers. We met a lady we thought was a vampire who might just be some kind of old money demon related family business bullshit. She gave us 24 hours to get out of town. I'm thinking we should use those wisely. We fought a tree with a bunch of mouths, calling it a screeching willow. And then we met the owners of this place, who appear to be fellow hunters.
Would I have heard of them?
Not our enemies.
Who? The Hunter family?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
They there's a reason for that. They're a hunter. They're a vigilante org, so they're not like an organized hunter organization. But
Right.
also,
Would I? Oh, go ahead.
also, I was gonna say, also, they stated a couple of times during the interaction that they do hide their sort of identity essentially because of certain reasons, and those being that one, some hunters like Father Martin aren't necessarily able to forgive the fact that she maybe is a voodoo priestess, and that might feel a little too much like magic-y stuff. That was one reason. But then secondly, she was also the original hunter group, some of them survived, and she's one of the survivors, like the matriarch of the family. And because of that, she's got her own mission, and she really doesn't want people to get involved in it, and also not pester her for questions that she doesn't really want to answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Would I know her through my occult research and connections?
No. So you don't.
Okay.
So the moral of the story is you don't know her.
Okay.
But when they let you in on the stuff that they know, that might be something like you've heard of some of these stories before. So you might have an understanding of this group because of hearsay things every now and then, things that come down the grapevine. Someone says like some random dude pulled him out of a car and then
Mhm.
like just kind of left, or something.
Right.
And it's like
Well,
this mysterious group that does seem to be rolling around out here somewhere. Yeah.
And I know there is quite a bit of overlap between practitioners of faiths like voodoo and, in a sense, community service or vigilantism. Like
Right.
they protect their own.
Correct.
So I would imagine that that includes protecting their own from supernatural as well as mundane
Correct.
events. But it you know, I am sad but not surprised that Father Martin doesn't approve of their methods, even though I think anyone who, reads a book about it would realize that you could actually be a practitioner of both voodoo and Christianity, and there are plenty who do it.
Mhm.
But not everyone is as enlightened as I am, I guess.
On the subject of voodoo and protecting your own, by the way, I'm going to take out that pouch that the lady gave us and pass it over to Dr. Martin. This appears to be a werewolf begone grenade of some kind. She made it for us when we told her about JJ and the bikers.
So I am going to sense the unnatural upon it
Uh-huh.
and kind of see, like how it's made and, maybe what kind of symbolism is on it and dice. And so that is my resolve and no, that's library. Wits plus occult. So and does this do I have any other bonuses like
You are something, and I put your card
inquisitive?
Inquisitive. So you're trying to find knowledge at this point. So yeah, that would apply
Okay.
with your 2 desperation.
Okay. All right. Let's see if I can raise that danger. 4 successes.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can easily read the symbols, it takes you a second to sort of think because you have to shift your mind into like voodoo stuff, right? But when you shift your mind into that, you can start seeing these symbols and recognize that they're sigils and things that relate to Loa protection and the like. Basically, what you get from it is that it's like this. It's like it's like a grenade, right? As was described, it essentially will at a time when it is sort of activated. It's a pouch, so it's really just kind of opened and like tossed, right? It does do the same effect as in terms of the game rules, repel the unnatural or repel the supernatural ward thing. So it will keep that creature from being able to move within 2 meters of the source, and so it'll hold them back for a time, essentially. And it's pretty powerful. So it's a decent. It will succeed when used, but it can only be used one time, and it will work for a period, and then it will start to fade. So it's essentially a smoke grenade for the supernatural, essentially, like a smoke bomb, and then like run away. Like kind of
Ninja vanish.
Ninja vanish, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm pointing out the symbols and being like, so this is kind of an entreaty to Legba, who is kind of the originator of life within the voodoo mythos, and he, and generally that is, you'll see that across cultures how the chief of the pantheon is one of the main ones who provide protection. So again, this is the collective unconscious at work and adapting to local custom. So yes, I think this will protect us.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. I also think you should hang on to it.
Does it is thwart different than repel, the unnatural?
Thwart and
Is it-
repel are different. Yeah.
Okay.
But it
Then
sounds
yes,
like
I will hold on to it.
cool.
Yeah, because I
'Cause-
can thwart them myself.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I cannot repel.
Yeah.
And of the four of us, I mean, two have guns, I have knives and serum, and if one of us was to come up with a front to front with a werewolf, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be the most dead.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Sorry, I'm just
Well, I mean, it's
trying to
this
think
is,
ahead.
you know, it makes sense. I am the least martial of you, so
Well, while he's explaining it, I'm probably on my phone, trying to look into the email I received sometime after I went to bed. I want to see if I can't get any glimmer as to who is emailing me video of the crimes I was committing last night.
Yeah. So you were trying to do a what is it, intelligence plus technologies thing to like hack the thing or something. You're trying to do a thing, right, to find out the IP address and whatever all. Yeah.
Yeah, like watching Big Brother, or in that case, yeah, trying to figure this, intelligence plus technology to see who is this, what do they want from me. I don't think my specialty would apply here. Dice, no, is it WAD? There's too many different dice plugins on Discord. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did I miss some? Oh God, I don't have a lot of willpower, but also I do want more. I do want to figure this out. So let's go for it. Rough. I believe I am impaired on willpower after that.
Wait, you have 0 willpower?
All of my boxes have a superficial tick. It was probably
Okay.
I didn't
So
think about
you
that
guys,
till I
you
already
did
declared I was
sleep. You did sleep, so you should have restored
Oh,
some
so-
willpower.
Never
How
mind, then
much?
we're good.
How much?
You know, I have begun to question whether I understood how that worked.
So it works. You either gain your composure or your resolve, whatever's higher in willpower back.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's
Oh.
what you will gain back.
Okay, yeah, cool. I
Shit.
was thinking the one asleep was pretty rough,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It made us feel weak, so I didn't mind it for narrative reasons.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
well, it wasn't. You guys hadn't been spending tremendous amounts of willpower,
Sure.
but
This
yeah,
was a particularly nice nap, also.
Right.
So.
you also spent like 72 hours without really sleeping, so that is also a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, finish that, and then I want to. There's
Yeah.
a major plot point we still have to go over.
So you did not succeed in finding out a whole lot about the person that is sending you messages, but it does appear as though that person, what you are able to discover is that that person may be located in the general area. Like you get some piece of their IP address and some other things, but the only thing you really get is that they might be in Louisiana itself, but you don't know much more than that.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, the big thing that we learned, aside from like burning a bunch of milk and making some enemies, Mama Gigi, the lady who owns the place, told us that her crew, prevented a sort of union of monsters, like a bunch of different monsters were working together to dig up a temple with some kind of evil ancient being in it, and that crew blew up the cave and the temple and buried it all pretty successfully,
Saving
Except that-
children in the process.
saving children that were being sacrificed. Yeah, human sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And according to our research, a little bit of Google Earth, the current dig site out on the edge of town is right on the temple. Somebody's trying to excavate. Now, we don't know what kind of evil we're talking about, but I mean, we're getting like seeps through the ground Eldritch Horror vibes. I was.
Hmm. Did they give you any names of the creatures or this powerful entity that they were trying to resurrect?
I glance at the others. I'm like, I don't.
I think that we know that one of them was like a vampire, one of them was like a werewolf. I think uh uh
What you mean the crew that
Faye
was digging them up?
or the crew that was digging them up.
Like the crew that was digging them up was vampires, werewolves, and fae. The thing
Yeah.
underground, I don't
Oh,
think
the thing
anybody knows
underground.
what it is.
Yeah, just some powerful dark thing. We learned about the spirits, other spirits about town.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
the sins of Sikhism. That's
Mhm.
what the kid was.
Yep.
Yep.
He was one of the sins of Sikhism, and apparently the others are all somewhere out here.
Not
Like
evil.
like Sikh
Like
Indian,
the religion, yeah.
Mhm.
Indian Sikhs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Not evil, just spirits of the idea of sin. We're like all trapped here in
Yeah.
service to the thing.
Interesting.
Something like this.
And I
So they
mean,
couldn't stop it.
if these creatures are all if they're facets of our collective nightmares, it makes sense that they would work together. Um to dig deeper into our primal fears. I have a feeling that this this thing, if it's it might tie back to some of the the great adversaries of mythology. um so
Like if the collective nightmare is this thing like our repressed trauma, because that's all the more reason to bury it. I'm just saying.
um well, when all you do is bury it, it's still there
Mm.
and it will come out, much like psychological trauma. We can attempt, most people do attempt to bury their trauma, but that doesn't resolve the trauma. It's an analogy I like to use is a leaky pipe. You have a leaky pipe and you put some duct tape around it. So for a couple days, no leak, but water will find its way through and it starts dripping again. So you put some more duct tape on it and the drip comes back and you put more duct tape on it and more duct tape on it. And then finally, there's no room under the sink to put any more duct tape.
Well,
I
well, we don't really want them to dig it back up. Like, I don't think this is a problem we want to resolve itself.
Well,
Well-
and that's true. You don't want to. I mean, defense mechanisms exist for a reason, and they're very good at what they do. But I think if we can find a way to confront and overcome it, and take away its nightmare powers as a result, then much like somebody who works through and past their trauma, we can deliver us from evil, as it were.
talking about a permanent solution. And something you said there really rang a little bit true to me. Because we're dealing with there was an evil tree. It was made by alchemy. So if the temple, if the dark thing underground is like a leaky pipe that Mama Gigi and her hunters passed with duct tape, maybe the tree is the result of the leak.
I buy that. Although we might want to put some duct tape on this pipe before we go replacing it. They're digging it up right now. Is the thing.
Well,
Well,
you do thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you, Ophelia.
I have some connections of people who are going to be delivering me some goods to at least patch up a leaky pipe temporarily until we can find a better solution. At the very minimum, we can kind of go in and maybe temporarily fuck some shit up for them so it takes them a little bit longer to dig, if you're catching what I'm pitching. I got a guy who can get us bombs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I mean,
for the-
I assumed it was some sort of explosives, because it sounds like this is a subterranean
Yeah.
adversary, and
It's also down ground from a dam.
Yeah. So if we can get some explosive off near the dam, it might be able to cause just enough damage to where they have to stop digging, at least for a little bit, to buy us a little bit more time. I also think it might be worth it if we get in good with, and I point back to the chicken shack. Might be nice to have some extra bodies, you know.
And I wonder too if, to keep the plumbing analogy going, before you replace a pipe, you have to shut off the water. And so I'm wondering what's feeding this entity. And if we could somehow shut off its source of water, that will make it far easier to replace the pipe.
Well, theoretically, it was eating the souls of small children. So
yeah,
it
it hasn't been
been
fed
starving
kids
for
in a
few
while.
minutes. Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, who knows? I guess. But
Oh, God.
it's,
We need to check the obituaries
that's not a.
Yeah, go ahead.
just in case.
I mean, obituary is a good idea.
I mean, but who's to know that these kids get obituaries?
I think I got the impression from Mama Gigi that the guys who were running the town back then kind of got their asses kicked. So whoever's doing the excavation would have to have rebuilt some power in order to hide that kind of thing.
I mean, we know the mayor hangs out with them, right?
Oh yeah.
At that diner.
Yeah, so something's fucked up there.
Huh.
Well, you know what?
Let's kidnap the mayor.
Dr. Martin, you were not with us at the facility.
Correct.
They don't recognize you as someone who needs to get out of town. We might have to send you to go talk or observe them so that they don't, they might jump us immediately if we aren't gone in time, if we're still poking around. But since you weren't there, she's not going to get the word out to everybody. As much
Can we be 100% sure about that, though? Because he's been seen with you two at one point or another.
I mean, we don't know what she knows.
But we know what... But you guys know what the werewolves know, and the werewolves work for her.
Right.
Well, when we were messing around at the bar, he wasn't there with us either.
Observing from a safe distance. Yeah.
The only time I was observed was the cop.
Yeah.
But you're a normal looking dude. You might not remember you. Maybe.
Joseph. Yeah. Okay, real quick. Patty Lancaster, PR HR head of this company, Lancaster and something.
Barons and Lancaster.
They owned Basilisk. They're the ones producing the milk. We fully raided their facility, broke in, fought the tree. Our boy Joseph here burned their milk supply. And we were on our way out when we ran into Patty Lancaster. I thought she was a vampire. I was fully ready to drive stake through her heart and run out of there. Glad I didn't. Apparently human. Bad. Very bad news.
What made you think she was a vampire?
Acted like it.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, kind of.
She was incredibly relaxed while I was like pointing a gun at her, and never, despite the shit we had just done, didn't give the impression that she was like surprised or impressed or threatened.
It's in the family, right? Her father or her brothers, or someone else. Someone is definitely. Mama Gigi explained it to us.
Yeah,
We
she
know
did.
there
Back
are
to our
members.
charts.
Yeah, there's like
Hmm.
vampires in the family. We know a couple members of the board of Barons in Lancaster are vampires.
Interesting.
Because history.
Yeah.
And God,
But
it's a long. Oh, real quick. Yeah. There's also this guy Ray. He's got like the blade jacket and a sword.
he
It's all right.
rules.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Mhm.
He's the one who introduced us to Mama Gigi. So if you see a fellow rolling around looking like Blade, say hi.
Blade.
But not like
Oh, yeah.
Wesley
Oh,
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley
in the
Snipes,
movie.
yeah. But
You have to have
interesting
seen
person,
Blade,
right.
Dr. Martin. The half vampire hunter. Motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill. Come on.
I vaguely remember a Blade in old Dracula comic books.
Hey, we'll take it. Yeah, that's where he's from. We'll take it.
Ah, yes, him, Hannibal King, and I forget who some of his other allies were. I think even Howard the Duck made an appearance in some of those comics. But that's another story for another time.
I'm lost now.
That's right. But Ophelia, you made a great point. If we can get in good with these people, we're gonna need the numbers. They know our faces now, and this is bigger than we thought that it was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me talk to them. I gave Mama Gigi a good bit of money last night to go feed the homeless people. Who knows? Maybe some shit of luck will fall down in the sky and allow me to talk with them and see if we can get some of the members of her family on our side.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we want to keep the damn thing, I think we should. Oh,
I will also say you missed one hell of a thing. This woman tried to, I guess, give one of her grandchildren to Joseph. Mm-hmm.
Which woman?
Mama Gigi.
Mama Gigi, yeah.
Yeah, offered one of her granddaughters to Joseph
In matrimony.
and matrimony.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
a little
mean-
young, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I mean, it's not unheard of in
Mhm.
some cultures. So,
Mm-mm.
when in Rome, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me go talk to her.
Mhm.
And yeah, and so Ophelia's gonna kind of stand up and kind of stretch out her arms and her legs and just kind of shrug her shoulders and then walk to the chicken shack.
Upon entering the chicken shack, you can see that there's a whole lot of people that were not around last night. Remember, it was just Mama Gigi inside the chicken shack. But Ray was coming back from delivering a bunch of leftover chicken to the homeless people that you had discovered. And the one guy who suffers from whatever that weird disease is where he's got all kinds of hair and stuff and can't really talk and is kind of weird. Whatever that was. He was just a crazy old guy, like a crazy old homeless guy. But that they were claiming was a werewolf. That's why you guys went there in the first place.
Oh
But,
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the other thing.
Oh yeah, you did skip
Insurance
that part.
fraud.
yeah.
I meant to bring that up, but then the conversation kept going, and I never could circle back.
But you go in now and you don't see Mama Gigi anywhere, presumably because she went to sleep and is doing other stuff. But what you instead find is a young lady, probably about your age-ish who seems to be doing a lot of the cooking. A guy who is sitting at the table and he's just like making stuff. Looks like he's whittling things and maybe, putting things together and stuff. He's going to make bullets and things, but he's preparing. He's not actually going to do it right here. But he's spending his time. But then there's another guy who's the one that's like taking orders from the random people and like shouting the orders to the girl who's like, I'm on it. But you get the weird feeling that like she's in charge, but he's acting like he's in charge. And so he's like, as you walk up, because he doesn't know who you are, he just goes, all right, what you want?
Is Mama Gigi around?
Nah, she's sleeping. She'll be back later though. She'll be ready for dinner.
All right. Who can I talk to in the family?
Oh, you can talk to me.
Okay.
I'm taking orders right now, so what do you want?
No, not taking. I don't know if she told you, but she had some visitors last night. About 2:00 in the morning.
Oh shit! And then he
One
steps
of
back a little bit, and then he comes back and goes, "Oh shit! No shit."
Yeah.
And then he says to the girl, he's like, "Yo, Mama's guests are still here." And she's like, "Yeah, I saw them. They were sleeping outside." And she like stops what she's doing. She's like brushes her hands on her apron. She's like, "Then move aside." And so he moves aside. He goes to the next person. Like, "Yeah, so what do you want?" And then she's like, "Hi, yeah. So what can I do for you?"
Is there a place that we can talk? Maybe not in front of and then she kind of looks over to the person next to her, and then kind of like eyes the woman, kind of like not in front of normies, I guess.
She's like, she looks at the grill and all the stuff she's got to do, and then she looks over at the guy who's taking her. She's like, "Darnell, you're on grill," and he's like, "What? I'm taking orders." She's like, "Amos will help you," and the guy who's at the table who just isn't been saying anything, he just kind of looks up and goes, "What?" And then like he's like, "Wait, I gotta talk to people." And then she's like, "Come on,
feel that.
come on, we can go talk over here." And she basically leads you off to like a table that's like far away from everyone. That's probably where the family goes and sits and eats and stuff. The kind of in the back, away from things, right next to like a cooler, things like that.
And she kind of like looks down to her hands. They're probably a little bit dirty from sleeping outside and stuff, and so she kind of wipes them on her pants, her cargo pants, and offers up a handshake. First of all, I'm Ophelia. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm Kylie.
Kylie. Okay. So yeah, we met with your grandmother.
Yep. Grandmother.
Grandmother. And she gave us my friends and I, who are all outside, gave us some really valuable information, and we would be stupid, in my opinion, if we just let somebody who could help us go. And so I'm not great at talking to people. I'm gonna be completely upfront and honest with you. But my friends and I were kind of sort of hoping that maybe we could work something out with you and your family, having people to back us up in what we're planning to do would be, honest to God, probably a tremendous help. I'm new to all of this shit, literally 2 days into all of everything, and your grandmother was wise and smart and able to point us in the right direction. I can personally, I can help you guys out if you help us. I don't know. I don't know the first jack shit thing about cooking chicken or whatever.
Sister, calm down. Calm down. Take it easy. Listen, I know what you're trying to say, and it isn't the first time someone's tried to say it. So I'll tell you what Mama says in a case like this. She obviously likes you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been allowed to sleep out in front of their shack all night, right? She would have shooed you away with her broom, like she does all the other ruffians that try to hang out outside. All the other people that, while she, we take care of people. We take care of people. Right? We don't mind that they don't necessarily have the money to pay for it, but we do mind the ruffians who try to steal and that kind of stuff. You keep it good, we keep it good, right? So she obviously likes you, because she didn't even try to mess with you. She actually, if I understand, she actually asked Ray to come wake you up just to make sure that you got out of the way, but she did not want to. So she wanted to do it herself, so that you got the wrong impression that maybe she didn't like you. She obviously likes you. But I will tell you what usually goes. While Mama may like you, and that does a lot, that goes pretty far. Some of the others, Darnell, Amos, for example, they kind of expect action and loyalty. And so I hear what you're saying, and I actually think you're on the right track. If you were to help us, regardless of whether you're one of us, I think that you would be able to ask for some help back. Like, we don't like owing people nothing, right? So you don't have to worry too hard. If you want some help from us, then yeah, you just gotta help us, and I think that would be enough. Mama would tell everyone they gotta listen and gotta help if we could help.
Yeah.
But the others would probably be like, well, we got a job, Mom, we're not gonna do it. But if you helped with that job, I am sure that they would go, okay, well, they helped us, so we gotta help them. So long as it wasn't really dangerous, especially for the little ones.
I wouldn't put little ones into this. I'm not gonna lie. My group and I don't really have a fuck all clue what we're really doing.
None of us do, really. Didn't she explain to you that, like, we fight ghosts and myths, and we don't even know where they come from?
Fair. But if I can help you all in any way, I got muscle, and my friends out there are all pretty smart. One of them's not the most socially adept, but
you're explaining my cousin and my brother.
But if I can do anything to help and put myself further into Mama Gigi's good graces, I'm here.
All right. I'll let her know. She should be coming in later if you want to talk to her. She's usually, while we all tell her, no, Mama, we got it, she's always like, no, I got to be here when the sun goes down, because that's when the mist comes out.
So, how long y'all been dealing with this mist?
5-6 years. It wasn't right after all went down. It was a little time. Like, I think Mama might have told you that. It was a little bit of time, but then the mist started coming, and she could not sit still after the news stories of people dying, drowning themselves in the lake, just getting out of their cars and just drowning themselves. And so she decided that she had to look into it. And then, of course, Darnell, he was like not gonna let just grandma go look into something. And some of the older ones, right? My dad, for example, he wouldn't let it happen. So then they just started going together, and then there was a whole bunch of them, and then eventually everybody knew, and everyone was part of it. Everyone knew that, like, they couldn't just sit back. The only ones who are not part of it are the little ones, right? If you ain't cut 12 yet, we don't get you involved. But if you start getting about 12, someone's going to start teaching you. And then when you get to about my age, you're already in charge.
I can respect that. Like anything I can do, really. Uh, she's gonna kind of fumble around in her pockets until she can find just like a note, maybe like a small piece of paper, and just take out a pen that's like in her little side pocket here, and just kind of write down her phone number, fold it up, and hand it over. Um,
So she like looks at it for a second, and she pulls out her phone. She's like, "You could just put it in my phone."
My true, I listen. I've been awake for about 72 hours. My mind's not right. Phone, yeah. I introduced myself already, right? Yeah, I already
Yeah, you
did
did.
that. Okay,
You
yeah,
did.
sorry. Yeah. I would love to come back later on today, whenever she has some free time and talks.
Yeah, she and Ray will be back.
Cool.
He's my cousin.
Cool.
You met him, right? That's what I heard.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
He's a big, tough guy, but he's a real softy down in his heart.
It's good to know. And she'll take the phone and put her number in, and then sheepishly give it back. And well, it was a pleasure to meet you. Good luck with everything today. And like I said, whenever she's free to meet, give me a call.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Cool. Then she will get up, give a small, like, kind of like awkward, like head bow, and then just kind of look to the others and give like a very courteous wave and walk out. And cringe to herself as she's walking out, like, what the fuck was that?
As Kylie heads back into the shack, she just immediately starts going like, "Darn, now you're burning the grits!" And he's like, "I wasn't paying attention to the grits. You didn't say the grits. I was looking at the grill." And then just start having a fight inside.
Brutal.
Then Amos just goes, "It sounds like," as you're walking by, you hear him as he's like chewing on the bun. He's like, to the next customer's like, "Sounds like grit's gonna be free for the next half hour." So, and people are like, "Oh, I'll have the grits then."
And then she'll make her way back to her group. Well, guys, if you are looking for grits, they're free for the next half hour.
Yeah, so I figure
right.
what we do is we hire some local kids on Fiverr to dress up like eco-terrorists. We'll film them. No, listen, I'll post about it. This is the news they don't want you to hear. These local people are fighting against it. Then, once we've done our job, it isn't going to look like we did it. It's going to look like in some, natural resistance among the town. So that, you know what I'm saying? And Alex, right, you're punk. You can dress them up proper. Make them look like they're not posers.
I'm sorry, are we trying to smear eco-terrorism?
Are we
No.
trying to recruit children to smear eco-terrorism?
Not kids.
You literally
know.
just said children.
Like,
What the fuck did I
say
walk back in on,
No, I said some
Joseph?
kids on
It's
Fiverr.
not a
like 18,
terrible
19
idea.
year-olds.
It's not a
Right.
terrible idea.
We're not spearing eco-terrorism. Eco-terrorism's cool. I'm just because they're doing this like construction project in these woods.
Dude, that's a good idea. A false lead is a good move. That said,
Exactly.
I'm kind of on board with the professor. Maybe blowing up the dam is plan B and killing the thing in the temple is plan A.
Sure. I mean, we could blow up the thing in the temple.
I do
Yeah,
bombs
but-
that are coming in. Speaking of which,
I feel like if it could just get shot, it would have been shot by now.
Maybe they don't have what we've got.
You have that library.
I did finish organizing the library.
Which we're not going to
Oh,
be able
hell
to
yeah.
use anymore.
No, we can.
We can hire a U-Haul and get everything out and just park it.
I
now.
have. Okay, Doc. Here's another thing that we should probably have filled you in on. We're gonna have to relocate for a little bit as a part of the getting out of town in 24 hours thing. I got a place. It's an apartment. Don't know if fit the library, but
Mhm.
it's still a place for us to lay low
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and plan.
Yeah, after we got cornered by the werewolves, Patty gave us 24 hours to get out of town in exchange for not having her minions eat us. So,
Hmm.
which is now at 15 hours, 13 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So I got to go meet with her tonight and be like, "Yo,
Mm-hmm.
we're ready to go, or we need more time, or somewhere around here I made a list of bullshit I was gonna ask her for."
I don't know if it usually when I hear somebody say you should get out of town, that doesn't include a goodbye.
I
Like,
agree, but if she's willing to risk not telling her people just to get us out, my thinking on the subject, whatever she's protecting is so important to her that she's willing to let us, her enemies, just walk away to avoid the possibility of us messing it up. And if what she's protecting is that important, she'll sit down and have a conversation to finish protecting it.
or she figures if she could just intimidate us to leave, then her problem is solved. But if we push it, she could take the risks of having us eliminated.
True.
Yeah. We know that. Oh, I can't. We didn't fill you this in on this. We got definite 100% confirmation, right, that it's werewolves, and that they are under her thumb, right? Like they were taking orders from her.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
work for Baron's and
So
Lancaster.
that we should probably tell Father Martin that for sure it's JJ and his gang that he called us in to deal with. Maybe keep Mama Gigi's stuff under wraps.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I might be having to meet with her tonight anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
So I want to pitch this. We know I've heard of hunter orgs that are like corporate,
Yeah.
real, like suit wearing, we use the monsters for our own ends kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
If we pretend that we work for one of them and act like I want to leave, but we can't until we do what we came here to do, aka deal with these werewolves, then I don't know. Knowing she's not a vampire, I feel like I can get something out of this chick.
Yeah, maybe we can tell her she only needs to buy our silence, and we won't tell our boss.
I mean,
Mm.
I guess somehow you would have to convince her that you are a bigger threat to her than the benefit that she gets from the werewolves. And it appears that she gets substantial benefit from the werewolves. So I don't know what would make her pick us over the werewolves.
I mean, the threat of a full corporate invasion is my current go-to.
Can I put something forward that might be a bit over the line?
Has that
I
stopped
mean,
you yet?
if she's just human, we can. She's easy.
Damn, bro.
She's not a good person. We know
yeah.
that.
Damn.
Countering what you're going to say, just
Mm-hmm.
to keep it balanced. If we kill her, that puts a giant, even bigger target on our backs.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that of which some of us cannot afford.
Plus, we know she has vampires on the board of directors, and I'd way rather interrogate a vampire.
Sure. But then, who is going to tell anyone else it's our back they should put a target on?
I am sure that
JJ, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
but she if she met with us,
Mm-hmm.
I think we can assume that the board of directors knows about us.
Potentially. She said she wouldn't tell her brothers, which I don't know exactly what that means. She also did kind of offer me a job. Maybe I should have led with that. It's like my people could use a person like you.
I
Look,
mean,
I'm Captain Bad Ideas sometimes, but I feel like we can get in and complicate their business without putting ourselves in a tremendous amount of risk. I also think that JJ doesn't like her and having a leash, so there might be a wedge to draw between her and the werewolves.
He might hate us more though. We kind of fucked that one up.
You flipped him off a bunch while we were walking out of there.
Yeah.
And you guys, and you both kept antagonizing him while we were trying to get back to the car.
It was really funny.
It was so
really funny, but don't.
See, Doc, this is why we needed you.
to tell
We
us
just
to shut
started
the
doing
fuck
shit
up.
because it was funny.
I would like to point out I had no part in that. To be fair, I've only been in this business for 72 hours now.
Pushing
I
80. Yeah,
mean,
nice.
that's maybe. I mean, I've been in it for maybe 96, so
Good news. Both of you are, I would say, 70 and 80 hours respectively longer than the vast majority of people who find out about this world. You have you've beat the bell curve. Most people, yeah, they have short lifespans.
Yeah,
after finding out
truly
about all this.
incredibly survivable. Hard to kill even. At this point, I'm gonna actually respond to that email with the video saying, like, yeah, that's me. What's up?
You get a response almost immediately, being like, "Geez, took you long enough." And then another message that says, "All right, so I can keep this gone, but you're gonna have to do something about them."
About ... question mark.
And then
sorry, you go.
no, you go.
Oh, I'll just send the wolf emoji. And then I'll send 2 women emojis and 1 man emoji to try and visit my team or the other people on the video.
The wolf comes back, like the person copies and pastes the wolf.
Yeah. Sounds like we have aligned interests then. I'll share it. Hey, so someone somewhere has footage of us from last night, and they will keep it gone if we deal with the werewolves, which does seem like something we want to do anyway.
Who?
I tried to figure that out. I don't know. They reached out to me.
Somebody got pictures. What are the pictures of?
I'll show. It's footage from us at the facility last night.
Yeah, it's the security cam footage. It's
From
the
the
security
lobby.
from like the lobby and from the parking lot when you were exiting. You did so well avoiding the cameras going in, but when you left, you went out the regular way. And so it's like, it's mostly the footage of you guys moving through the parking lot, like flipping birds at a bunch of biker dudes who are like clearly moving like 10 feet away from you, but in the same direction that you're headed, that kind of thing. Like a weird, awkward musical, like you're about to start West Side Story, like dance, like sing fighting. And so like it's that footage. And then it ends with the footage of you're by like the gate, and then someone like climbs up on a car and then says something to you. It's JJ says something, and then you all like this look of realization on your face, and then you all just start running, and that's where the video ends. That moment where he said, she said not to touch you while he was in the parking lot. She didn't say what to happen after, and then you're like, run to the van, and that's what happened. Yeah, that moment. Yeah.
That sounds uncommonly wise of you.
So that is the footage that you see.
Okay. So, I mean, we know Patty Lancaster had access to this. She was sitting she was sitting there next to the tape.
Mm-hmm. She was right next to the monitor.
I mean, if they want to back stuff up like this, right, so that a person like me couldn't just get in there and wipe it up, then it's not air gapped. Someone else could get in.
Are you saying it's stolen?
I think so. This is the same person who sent me the footage of the night it happened, right?
It is.
Yeah. They have. I have received contact from this person before. I don't know how, but they can find things that aren't released publicly. So.
Okay. Is there any commonality between the stuff they're sending you?
Videos of me or of people around me.
So you have a stalker.
I think I might have a hacking stalker of some kind.
Well, then I'll just call you Mariah Carey because somebody's obsessed with you.
But listen, hey, I think they might be of the hunter variety. They want the werewolves gone. They got footage of when the rest of my crew got murdered. So they're involved.
Okay.
So, anyone know where we can buy some powdered silver?
Photography production, old style photography production.
I'm pretty sure I also at one point made the suggestion that we just rob a jewelry store, but you know.
Well, no, because you could. I mean, you can make a pipe bomb with like stud earrings instead of nails, right? So,
God, this
if
is
it works, it
escalating.
works.
I mean, and you know, those of you with these kind of backgrounds might have a better idea, but would the silver survive the explosion?
Should some of it might react out in the heat, but you know, silver as a metal, it might form alloys, but typically, you know, without a solution, and as long as we aren't, you know, putting in the right stuff, it should be okay. I mean, they melt down silver to make jewelry or to forge it. Because we just need to send it out, right? It doesn't need to be, you know, mixed in with a bunch of stuff silver likes to react to.
Mm-hmm.
So that does kind of kneecap my idea of splitting the Lancasters and the werewolves apart.
Well, not necessarily. If we can turn them against one another, we use the werewolves. Maybe we get them to attack Patty and her crew, and then they're gone, or there's not many of them left, and then we come in and finish the job.
Our enemies fighting each other. That sounds efficient.
The only thing is, how do we convince them?
JJ and his crew.
Yeah,
Fabricate
whatever
emails.
his name. Fabricate emails.
He seems reactive to insults. So if we find or make a bunch of emails from Patty calling him stupid mutt, mangy hound, whatever, and he gets offended and pissed.
You think he'd react well if we wrote from Patty that she was gonna roll up a newspaper and smack him over the nose with it?
Yeah, right. Like if we can prove that. Oh, sorry.
I know you're absolutely right. I think generally just hacking the shit out of the Lancaster company is probably a smart move.
Mm-hmm.
That I would agree with. out of all the ideas that we've put forth at this picnic table, that is the one that I think could bear the most fruit.
Yeah.
I at this point, I do not see us dealing from a position of strength.
Mhm.
So, right now
Mm-hmm.
we aren't the hero. We aren't Hercules. We have to be more of a trickster.
Mhm.
Agreed.
And so the deception of the email, I think, would have more credibility than um, us directly attempting to influence either
Mhm.
party.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think either party, I mean, they don't appear to be fools. They would probably assume, why would we come to them with that if we
Mhm.
weren't trying to drive a wedge?
Right.
So I think this Trojan horse that you've thought of might
Mhm.
be our a good opening move.
Mhm.
Yeah. We also have some leads we just haven't looked into. Like there's still a pyramid with a big red light on top of it. I know I keep bringing it up, but what the fuck?
I don't remember you mentioning that at
It's
all.
like a lighthouse, some feature, some like touristy thing, but it's a pyramid with a big red light on top of it.
It isn't like
We're
the
not
Bass Pro
hunters if we
Shops.
don't at least look at it.
Yeah, we gotta look at the mysterious pyramid. Even if we only find fishing gear inside of it.
Yeah. Also, like we know that the lake now produces ghosts
Full of
sometimes,
ghosts.
Yeah.
like murder ghosts.
We
Mama
might
Ju-
need to help them with
God.
that too.
Have they ever dredged the lake? Is it just full of bodies?
Probably.
They don't know how it popped up, whatnot. When I was talking to the nice woman inside of the building, not too long ago. Apparently they popped up about 5-6 years ago. Um, no clue.
Sounds like that leaky pipe to me.
I wouldn't live somewhere this haunted and full of monsters. Why does anyone still live here?
It's not
Right?
that bad, and rent's cheap.
Rent's
that's
cheap,
because of
fair.
the
yeah.
haunted thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Homicide rates go up, rent
Yep.
prices go down.
Go down.
It's a
My
win-win.
listen, I'm just saying, I rent out my place for like 500 a month, so
Fuck.
yeah, it's not bad, and utilities are included. So, yeah,
Taking a beating on that. Jeez, it's not even market rate.
right? Like, it pays to live in a place that nobody wants to live in, but
Mhm.
it's also still a fairly new building, so
Good.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's also a completely new building. There's like, we keep driving past that shitty apartment building.
Mm. Oh yeah.
There's just a list of shady locations. I just want to burn this place down.
I mean, why is a new building suspicious?
It's just out of place.
It feels corporate
Bad
and bad.
vibes.
Very Barons and Lancastery. That might be slander, but it might be right also.
I mean, maybe it's the New Yorker in me that's coming out, but gentrification is typically a force of capitalism, not.
Boo.
I mean, while evil in its own way, I am not sure that urban developers are necessarily creatures
Oh,
of the night.
literally monsters. Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
I mean, they're monsters, but they're different types of monsters.
The natural kind. instead
Yeah,
of the
I mean
supernatural.
the human monster, which is very much a thing. I mean,
But
the history is full of them, but
I am pretty sure we're not fighting the mundane human monsters here. I mean, we can. I'm all for eating the rich, but like,
Right. Well. I mean, I think that we need to be careful that we. I am not sure that one. I mean, I don't know if the four of us, no matter how hard we wanted to, could cure all of society's ills.
Yeah.
And even if we could, um, I mean, let's focus on what brought us here, and that is, pushing back the night.
Yeah.
Mm.
Prioritize.
Once that is accomplished, which will likely never happen in our lifetimes, but if through some amazing serendipitous twist of fate we are able to end the collective nightmare of humanity, then yes, I will be more than happy to help you take on capitalism, because
Mhm.
at that point we would probably be miracle workers.
So I figure we buy a U-Haul and load up all the books into it.
yeah, bring them over to my house.
Cool.
Storyteller, is there anybody looking at our table right now?
Not really. I mean, most of the people are only like they're picking up food. They're not staying for very long. They're shoving it in their faces, slamming their coffee back, and leaving. If they don't just take it to their car and drive off to like take it,
Mm-hmm.
home or to work or something.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just say eco-terrorism? Not my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like to be real, most of these people around here are like the kind that mind their own business anyway. Unless you're doing some drama stuff at the Piggly Wiggly or something, like they're mostly just being like, don't know, don't care, not my business, don't give a shit, right? Like that kind of
Cool.
thing. Like,
Probably for the best around here.
Then
and you're like
I'm
just
gonna
talking about capitalism. They're like, some
Yeah.
yuppie college fucks
commie
over here.
bastards.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
cool.
I'm an old man with a beard, so I
As-
definitely fit the.
Then yeah. Then as the doc is talking about how we're gonna take down capitalism by the works of miracles and whatnot, Ophelia's gonna reach into her bag and take out a small pouch and do a line of coke.
Jesus Christ. With breakfast? Who needs coffee?
Is there? So Coke has been. I feel like I have to roll to not do Coke.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be a willpower
She-
roll.
Listen,
No,
I'm just
actually,
saying.
I don't think
Yeah,
Joel
I was gonna
actually.
say. Oh yeah, by the way, Doc, Joseph did drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
good for you, Joseph.
Yep.
You know, it was free Coke. It seemed rude to turn it down.
Alex, if you want some, feel free to take some. I'm feeling generous today. And then she just does a line.
Just a quick bump.
Just a little bump.
Just to get you through the day. You know.
Yeah.
It's important to start on a high note because it usually goes down.
It's important to start on a high. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit. I think I have a meeting with a widow.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who got torn up in the hotel room. I'm supposed to meet his wife for coffee at like 2.
Oh shit.
College
we better
campus.
get going.
Yeah. Wasn't there other college stuff we were gonna do? Professor, you anything about?
You mentioned the
Not
lecturer?
today.
Okay.
That's in 2 days, I believe.
Yeah, there was a
All right.
lecture, but there was also the email that somebody was like, your boss at the other place was suggesting you check in with them because they're having a weird influx of people with weird memory problems.
Oh, I see that. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
But that's like an anytime thing. That's like a hey, maybe check in if you're down there, but like not like a requirement. You know, there's something that you might be interested in or whatever. Yeah.
Actually, no. A fugue case might link in with what we're dealing with here, because if these people are tapping into the nightmarish parts of the collective unconscious, then as a defense, I mean, that's a fugue state. Any dissociative state is purely a defense mechanism to protect the mind from world-shattering trauma, typically. So if there is a lot of that going around, that would explain fugue states. So
Plus, vampires like to do it. They bite you and then they erase your memory. Apparently, it's a thing.
And here I thought they just killed book clubs.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
So yes, I can check in with that department. You should definitely check in with your contact, and I don't know what the rest of you will be doing, but
Joseph and I hiring a U-Haul, baby. We're gonna go move some books.
Oh well, I gotta do the hacking.
Oh yeah. Then you do that, and I'll.
You
just,
might be doing the moving. You're strong though.
I'm stealing your
Easy for
van.
you. Yeah, you can take my van for it. That's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, my van, because I paid for it.
I was wondering if you would catch that.
There's a dog.
Hello,
There's-
doggy.
Oh my God, is that the dog
I
that we
love
thought was
you.
gonna lick our face?
no. This is the other dog. This is the dog that will actually lick the hell out of your face.
Oh.
Say hi to the internet, Daisy.
Hi, Daisy.
Redacted.
Zoom does not know what to
Redacted.
view here.
Redogted.
There we go. God. If any of our viewers were hoping for a dark and brooding tone, sorry.
You can't have monsters when there's good boys or girls like Daisy, you know?
Yeah,
It's true.
true.
Exactly.
All right. I
Cool.
gotta-
Daisy's not ready to say goodbye.
Daisy can learn some things about boundaries, but that's neither here nor there.
Could but won't.
I mean, yeah. So
Sweet. Adorable.
So to make sure that I'm tracking everything, you've got packing and moving stuff that I'm writing out your tasks that you have to get done or you're planning on getting done. Packing and moving stuff, meeting the lady at the coffee shop on the campus, meeting Mama Gigi later to talk with her, hacking, and then meeting the department, meeting the psych department head. And
What a
then
great to-do list.
and then was there anything else? Am I missing anything?
Dear Diary.
Kill werewolves and
Profit.
Peggy ? Yeah, profit.
Profit. Yep. Kick ass, take names, but I'm all out of ass, so we're just gonna have the names.
All right. I just want to make sure that I have the list of
Oh.
things that are going to happen so that we can play through those things. Yeah.
I have a funny thing that's gonna come later.
Okay.
No boy.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna send it to you, Scott.
Okay.
Because it's
If Alex actually said that,
no,
You know,
that was
Dr.
out of
Dreyfus.
character.
Very concerning.
Dr. Dreyfus, definitely has like a visible sense of dread wash upon him.
Okay. So, working through those things, it sounds like Ophelia is going to be packing up the stuff by herself, putting it in the van, bringing it to her apartment, and then eventually, offloading it, and eventually people will join her there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it to do with the hotel clerk?
Huh?
No.
No. Okay.
Then there's Alex is gonna go. So during all of that, Alex will be going to meet the lady on the campus to talk with her. whose name was a thing that I have written down in my notes, my big campaign notes of awesome. Her name was in the Act 1 notes because she was the person on the other end of the phone that you eventually called.
Oh, right. I remember now who our victim was. In my head, I completely shunted that out until 30 seconds ago.
See, there was a dead guy in a hotel
Yeah,
room.
latrine, right? Yeah, I got there eventually. I had to sort of take a long walk to my mind
Leanne.
palace.
Leanne was her name.
Cool.
Or
It's
Leanne.
occurring to
Yeah.
me that I'm not actually going to get anything from her, given what we know now,
Maybe.
but I'm still going to go talk to her.
Mhm.
I guess. Yeah,
You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, but you set up an
Give it a
appointment with her.
Give it a shot.
And then the hacking will be going on, and the psych is going on. So we're doing a 4-way split of the party to handle each of these individual storylines individually, which is fine because then we have the Meet Mama Gigi happens later tonight, and then we have Kill Werewolves, which is some sort of desire you have floating out there, to be determined for future time. Okay, all right. Let's 4-way split the party. So we're gonna 4-way split the party.
Could not possibly go wrong.
Well, I guess we have to consider. I assume Joseph is not like sitting in a park alone doing this. Like I imagine he's in the van or maybe still in the old house's garage.
I was gonna say that he's probably gonna go back to the safe house where all of his stuff is set up, and that's where
Yeah.
he's gonna be doing it. And then when it's like time to move that stuff, if that stuff is being moved, then he will then stop what he's doing, start unplugging everything and wrapping up cords. Right?
Yeah.
Feels more
Yeah.
like a 2x2 split.
Yeah.
Me and the professor and Joseph and Ophelia.
Yeah. But Ophelia but Ophelia is gonna be doing something that isn't hacking, and that might
Yeah.
lead places. Right? So that's a thing.
Yeah.
But I think that because we're at 1 hour and 42 minutes, that we shall take a break, and then we shall start the second half of this session with the splits. So,
Sounds good.
from the break.
Impatient.
Splitting the party into 2 different groups. 2 of you are going to the safe house to look in or to gather up your stuff and move it to Ophelia's apartment somewhere else that is apparently relatively secure and safe and not on the monster's radar, which is, more than enough, right? Then the other 2 of you are going to the university to check things out, see what things are going on there, meet with people and talk with them and find out stuff. And that is what is happening right now. Who would like to go first? Which of the parties should we go to?
Hack the planet. I'm down for going.
Team hacking the planet.
Okay. Seems fair. Hack the planet. All right, team, hack the planet. You arrive at the safe house, and you find that it's still safe. Nothing seems to be going on. No one seems to be affected. Nothing seems to be kicked in or broken down. It seems hidden and safe still. Dr. Dreyfus was only here a few hours ago. Like an hour and a half ago or something. So he's fine. Everything looks like it did when he left. So that looks good. And as you start looking around, you find that everything appears to be untouched. So it is easy enough to start packing things up. But the library is quite large. It is a decent library. But you're not going to be able to organize it. You can put it into boxes and you can bring it to your place. Dr. Dreyfus will have to spend time, Dr. Martin and Bradley will have to spend time rebuilding the library to get it back in useful order.
Rough.
I mean, even if you take pictures of it, you're still not going to understand the order. You're just like, what? Okay. I guess I could try to recreate it if I was good with puzzles, but fuck that. I'm just going to throw all these things in a box.
We got shit to do.
Fortunately for you, there really isn't anything here. These guys, this safe house had stuff, in it for sure, but it was like useful stuff for the house mostly. They didn't really bring anything, right? They brought themselves, and that's about it. So there's not a whole lot to pack up aside from this library that the doctor wants to bring with him. But other than that, it seems fine.
Is there laboratory equipment that we can take with us?
Yeah, there's laboratory equipment. That was part of what you had, so you could take some of the laboratory equipment for sure. Some of the tools maybe and things like
Yeah,
that. from
the
from-
medical lab was my contribution to the
Yeah.
safe house.
yeah.
I think we both
operating
had
room.
one, so
Yeah, no, you had a lab, I had an operating room.
that's
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could be able to move some of those things to the point where you would have something similar like that in your apartment, albeit on a slightly smaller scale. But
Mhm.
you could still be
Slightly,
able to
yeah.
pull off stuff.
No more living room.
Yeah, it's gonna be split in half as an operating room and a lab, and
Oh
then
my god.
You're gonna have to get new carpet.
You're
Please
gonna have
don't
to-
Breaking Bad my in my apartment. I'm begging. Please just
you're gonna have to
I-
throw
I-
a bunch of
we have to
sleeping bags
cook.
on the floor.
I'm afraid you're never getting that security deposit back.
oh
God.
fuck me.
Sorry, bro.
Ugh, that's all right. I'll just make Joseph pay me back.
Keep
With
telling
all of
yourself
that,
Ophelia.
you too. How is it that I've been here for 3 days and I'm already the group's sugar mama?
Everybody needs one. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Right. right.
All right. So it doesn't take a lot of effort. So we'll cover like getting your stuff to your apartment later. But packing it up is just a couple of, boxes that you can find all over the place. There might be even some crates up in this place. It is an old plantation, so I'm sure you could find some crates and things to throw it in to fill the van. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about people in the back half of the van. What you will have to worry about is like all of Joseph's electronic equipment and drones and things. That's going to be the bigger problem.
Joseph, you're gonna have to drive the van so I can put shit in my Subaru.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you the address.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So you remember that those apartment buildings that Alex is talking
No.
about? I doubt that it's the same exact one, but I needed kind of cheap rent in a
Mhm.
place to live, and this place had some space. It's secure, like
Mhm.
nobody's gonna like come down and hunt us and whatever,
Sure.
kill us, whatever. But yeah, it's in a
How-
building similar to it.
How are you gonna break the news to her?
It actually is, in fact, Purity Meadows.
Purity Meadows. That's just gross. That excuse me out.
It's a disgusting name for a disgusting place, and I don't
Mhm.
like that I live there. But I mean, I am a single woman who sleeps there, and that's about it.
Mhm.
So
We all gotta live somewhere. That's
Yeah.
fine.
yeah, and like I said, $500 a month. Like,
I mean, you can't beat it. You can't. That's
you can't, but not
Yeah.
in this market.
There was ridiculous moving incentives and stuff. It was crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it was weird. It was almost like they were like desperately looking for people. But another good thing is like because people are so off put by it, like nobody ever comes around. So, it's a great place for people who need to do maybe not
How-
so great things.
How long have you had this apartment, Ophelia?
Been down here for about 3 months.
Now, knowing what I have come to know about this town,
Mm-hmm.
is it haunted? Off chance.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The place is basically brand fucking new.
Mhm.
I mean,
Hey,
as long as it's not built over some like I don't know
Graveyard,
cemetery,
exactly.
graveyard, whatever. I highly doubt it, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I live with a lot of weird, shady people too. Like
Mhm.
like all of us literally mind our own business. The house is like soundproof, so for all I know, there could be murder like going on right next door, and
Sounds like the kind of place we need, so I'm all for it.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It sucks. Fuck capitalism. Eat the rich. Whatever. It pays
Suck
$500
and
a night.
fuck.
Su-
So sorry. I couldn't. It was right there. I'm so sorry.
Joseph, I'm gonna kick your ass later, and I'm afraid that you might like it.
So we load everything into the two vehicles.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Sophelia does. You're gonna be
Oh, yeah,
hacking.
I am.
Yeah, you're hacking.
Yeah, I'm watching her do all the hard work, of course.
Of course, of course. This is feminism.
So you're gonna do some hacking. Is that the Big Brother special ability? What is it that you're doing?
So I definitely think my global access thing would function here. I don't know if any of my specific perks. Watching Big Brother allows me to manipulate surveillance footage, editing people out, or adding them to records. But we already have a connect there. I think I might just be able to use my global access to find or ideally find real emails from Patty about JJ in like a negative light. Or if not that, use something in tech to fabricate them, make them look real, send them from her account to him or something like that.
Okay. So you're going to be you're going to be making an intelligence plus technology roll, and your difficulty is 4.
Yes, I don't think my specialty applies. I am not building, inventing, or augmenting, so just 8 dice. Just. So 8. Big money, no whammies. And just to really send it, yeah, let's call that 7 successes.
Hell yeah.
I don't do much, but I'm good at what I do.
Doo-doo.
Dude,
There we go.
yeah.
Thank-
There we go.
I was hoping someone else would do it this time. I can't keep
Guys.
doing it to myself.
It's just you and me and our Freudian slips. It's okay.
So you are trying to find footage of Patty Lancaster trashing on the JJ and his gang,
Ooh, yeah. I mean, if I can find video of her doing it, that would be
or emails.
delicious.
Okay, I gotcha. Well,
any evidence.
7 successes does get you quite a bit of stuff. There's a lot of things that they talk about, and they have, because Barron's and Lancaster is a large company, they actually have an archiving service that archives their files, because little known fact, larger companies have this sort of problem where, like Enron style, the government really doesn't want them to just like be secretly doing a bunch of things until they shut down and get like a lot of people unemployed. So they're required to archive their data, emails, Zoom meetings, things like that. Whether or not they're actually going to be necessary, they're at least there. So if there is an issue, then they can go back over and find out exactly how long it was going on, who the responsible parties were, that kind of thing. And that's actually a thing. And there are companies that do that sort of deal. So what you end up doing is, instead of trying to hack them directly, you end up sort of hacking the archiving service that they use. And that is how you're able to get access to all of this stuff with 7 successes. You're able to get access to all kinds of things. But from what you can tell by the things that you gleaned through, at no point has Patty Lancaster ever really said anything tremendously detrimental or tremendously negative about JJ and the gang. And they're very, very seldomly referenced in any official documentation, any videos that are archived. There's just not a lot there. They do mention a couple of times, like, transporters, a couple more times than they mentioned JJ and the Nightjar Riders. They mentioned like transporters or that team in Morgan City, like that kind of thing. And so you can tell that they're using code, but they don't really specifically say, the mutts or like, keep them boys down or whatever, put them back on their leash, or anything like that. That suggests that there's anything negative there. So you actually will have to fabricate it.
Fabricate. All right.
Fortunately,
then-
you have all of the official emails, and so it will be a little bit easier on you to try to fabricate it.
Excellent. What does it look like to fabricate shitty emails?
It's going to be the same thing, intelligence plus technology, but instead of the 4, I'm going to drop it down to a 3 because you have the emails to work with.
Oh, I heard the number 4. It did not click in my head that it was a DC. Oh, well, whatever. I willpowered
Yeah.
it anyway for fun.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nope. Yeah, dice 8. Same thing. DC. Hey, 4
There you go.
successes.
There you go. Yeah. So you're able to fabricate some what appear to be official looking things, but you split it up. You don't just do just emails. You split it
Mhm.
up into like, a couple of emails, a very decently spliced together voicemail, right? Like it's
Mhm.
like it's like a voicemail where it's like her being like, "Yes, I spoke with the team down there. Everything is fine, but they want to take out those ugly bastards who went
Jesus.
after our stuff, right?" And then
Mhm.
you splice together. It's like, "Yes, I talked to the team down there, those ugly bastards," or something like that, right? Like you kind of splice it together so that it comes together
Yeah.
in a way that makes it sound like she's talking about JJ's crew.
hmm And then I don't think any of us have his contact info. So I guess next will be me figuring out how I can reach out to him anonymously with
Yeah.
my evidence.
A lot of the other stuff you find though with your hacking job, because you find all this stuff,
Ooh.
you actually find out quite a bit about Barons and Lancaster. They were up to
Exciting.
some weird stuff for sure. They've been investigated a couple times for environmental things. They definitely don't have the proper licensing to be able to do some of the things that they do. They've been cited on a number of occasions. You already looked into them, but now that you've dug into their emails, you can see correspondence between people who are dealing with the like, okay, well, what do I do about the health inspector who has discovered the vat, right? And
Oh,
it's
shit.
like things like that.
Push him in it.
Yeah. And it's exactly things that is sort of the response. You get the understanding that Stanson, I believe is, hold on, make sure I'm giving you the right name of the right guy. Antagonists, B&L Industries. That Stanson Barons, the head of Barons and Lancaster, is very much of a cold-hearted dude. Very much of a, I don't care, kill them if you have to, like kind of guy. But also seems to be somebody that everyone respects based on how much like his father he is. If you remember, the Mama Gigi told you that the father died recently, and it was kind of mysterious. Yeah. But he's very much like a throw him down the stairs and then he won't ask questions anymore kind of like responses to things.
Yeah.
But like politely, so it doesn't actually say throw them down the stairs. It says it would be horrible if they met with a strange accident. And then like the follow email is, he seemed to have fallen down the stairs. And then the response from him is like, poor guy, hope he gets well. And then there's no other correspondence, right?
Oh.
Like,
Fucking mobster.
Yeah, that's dark. That sounds very supernatural to me, right? It
he's
seems
also
very like
a
that.
recluse, as far as you can tell. He has no travel records. There's no expenditures for his travels. Unlike his sister, where there's expenditures for her travels from the company all over the place. All over the place. She seems to go everywhere all the time, whenever. But he stays what appears to be at the headquarters in Lafayette. There you go. That's all the information you get out of what you did.
And mysteriously, no one ever sees him out during the daytime, and he only takes dinner meetings, right?
Sometimes he
They
has
know
a
what to look
midday.
for.
Sometimes it's a midday meeting. Sometimes, but there is no indication that he actually goes to them.
Right.
It's on his calendar, but that doesn't mean anything.
Of course. His intern has emails every week, like, sorry, had to cancel lunch again. Yeah. I'm starting to get a bit of a bit of a picture here. Very interesting. Stern. Make some notes of that. Ophelia,
Yeah.
you got any email accounts you don't want?
Okay, got my phone. Opened up my my email app. And I start scrolling. Okay, I have that one for that website, that one for that website. I got 3.
Can I hijack one of them to send JJ hate mail from Patty?
Sure, you want the one that I give to random men at the bar? You want the one that I use for my purchases, or do you want the one that I just have as a burner backup?
The one you give to men at the bar.
Have at it. JJ's in for a nice treat from Bob at the bar, I guess.
What is the name of the email? What is the email? Is it bob@thebar@gmail.com or something?
No. It's BOB 1969 420 at sunburst.com.
Of course.
Hmm.
Okay. And yeah, so
I'm humming the whole plan, but proceed.
Yeah. And then we haven't ever called him or anything, right? Or Alex,
No.
did you ever? Yeah. Yeah, we don't really get in contact with him, so
You're gonna
Oh.
call Alex and ask?
yeah. Alex,
Yellow?
hey, you when you talked to JJ to our guy, did you get his contact info?
JJ, no. I got the number of one of the bouncers, but Bubs didn't seem like he was really in the loop. Could work though.
Well,
Are you sending them something?
yeah. I have some things I think that are pretty believable. That are from, Patty.
Oh shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Part of me's like, maybe we don't drive the wedge yet, or maybe we do it later.
I
Maybe
mean, we can
I know
wait.
there's a lot of shit in moving.
Sure.
If you want to pull the trigger, pull the trigger. Let's see if we can make these two argue with each other.
Mm-hmm. Get it done before they come for us, right? Before our time's up.
Right, but if they figure out that we fucked with them, then they're gonna come for us faster, right?
I'm good. Don't worry.
Okay.
So, do I get the vibe that if I sent this sort of info to the lower down guy, it would hit JJ's, or no, it would never get up there?
It might. Yeah, he definitely talks to JJ all the time.
Yeah.
And if it was like, yo, your boss might want to see this or something, then it might get to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from Bob 69 420 at Starlight, I'm gonna send all of my fabricated evidence. Hey, exactly what you said. Your boss might want to see this, from a friend.
Ooh, add a suggested kill order.
How to suggest a kill order?
Maybe from the boss being like, if the dogs get out of line, kill one of them. You know, however he says it.
Does that seem like it was within my four successes of believability?
No, it was a lot of other insulting things, right? Not
Yeah,
an
I'm
express
pushing it
kill
a bit.
order. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because if that were the case, you don't know what the response would have been. For all you know, the moment an email like that goes out, it immediately happens and everyone moves on. And so, like, he might be like, well, now I don't believe it. Because if he had ordered it, I'd be dead already.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just send you, hey, from a friend, someone, someone is using y'all or whatever. Shoot off the email.
Cool. Yeah, Bubs gets it.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, I'm sure that they'll take Bob 69 420 very seriously.
Hey, even serious hackers have a sense of humor.
So as you finish packing up everything, you get it all together, the stuff you're going to bring over, and you head over to Ophelia's apartment. Now, this is important, so that's why we're continuing this bit of the story. You arrive at Purity Meadows. As you drive through all of the stuff that leads up to the city, you get past the triangle, the pyramid lighthouse thing. From Berwick, and you pass over the bridge and you end up in Morgan City. The place that she takes you is literally off the main road there. You just go on the main road, and all of a sudden she's turning, or your GPS is telling you to turn, and then it leads you to that brand new, like 5-story tall block of new development that is like got the big now leasing sign on it. She totes lives in the express building that Alex was referencing when Alex was trashing on the development stuff and capitalism. The parking garage is a card reader access only, so you have to have a badge to get in, which Ophelia has hanging in her car window, but only in her Subaru. Right, so you guys will have to park the van outside, and then do like a transfer of like thing, and then etc. It's a lot of going back and forth down the like up the elevator into the lobby, out to the car, go to the next car, take it down, that kind of thing.
Well, Joseph can always just sort of bypass it if it's making it too hard.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about that. Joseph, you want to bypass that thing?
Absolutely, save us all some time.
Yeah.
So it's 8 dice again. Great number. Love the number 8. Game table. It's okay. So that's where I crit. 7 successes on a critical success.
Yeah. So she rolls in. You're
I
not
opened
very
the
far.
shit out of that lock.
You're not very far behind. The gate, the large heavy garage gate, starts to like be pulled closed by the hydraulic arm thing that like closes it. It gets about 3/4 of the way closed. Ophelia, you're like, that's fine. I'll just like park, and then I'll come up, and then it goes, and then starts to open, and Joseph rolls in behind you in the van.
Why are you texting and
Style.
driving in my car?
Our car, comrade. It's style. All right, we don't have time to wait for this thing all day.
Okay, I fine, communism right now. It's our car. That means that you owe me half of the payment for it.
Whoa, let's not be so hasty.
Joseph, this is an incredibly impressive place. It is very clean, very neat, very brand new. It has high-tech everything, so the lights like dim and brighten as you roll past them. The spots are all labeled, and they have this, so like almost all of the spots have an electric car lift kind of thing, so that you roll into the spot, and then if it's empty, and then it will lift your vehicle up, and then you can park your second car in. So Ophelia actually has 2 parking spots because she can lift one above the other one. Cool, dope stuff
cameras?
like that. There are cameras all over the place. In the parking garage here.
It's gonna take up my free time.
Scrubbing all the cameras. Yeah, and so you have these cameras. There's elevators that require key fobs, and it's like nice spacious elevators. You could fill up a whole elevator and like still have space to like for a person to hang out with all the stuff you have and roll up. But when you get up to the floor, you don't really get to. She doesn't give you a tour of the building. She's not like, oh, let's check out the gym. Oh, let's check out the sauna. Right? She's like, no, let's go to the apartment and drop the stuff in. Do you remember where I said your apartment was?
I gotta let me pull it up on the notes.
It was I sent you it in chat if I remember, or in the Discord message.
You DM'd everything to me
a long time ago.
Oh no, I was able to. It's right here.
Yeah.
You didn't give me a spot spot in particular.
Didn't I give you an apartment number?
No.
I didn't?
No.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
Joseph, we actually sleep in the hallway.
That's fine. No, I can come up with it. It's 4B 17. Yep. 4B 17. You live at the bend in the hall that ends with the laundry chute. So Joseph, when you get in, she takes you up elevator 1, which dings, and when it comes up on the 4th floor where she lives, when it comes up on the 4th floor, there are apparently 7 floors in this building because I just saw my note. There are 7 floors in this building, 7-story building. It dings, and it's basically like this awkward situation where this really long ass hall that just goes straight to the other side of the building, which is totally normal, except that it has like branches, and it has some branches about halfway down the hall or so to where there seems to be a main junction, because that's where the second, like, there's like another hall that intersects it, creating like some kind of cross thing, right? And then it just goes to the end and ends. So it ends with another elevator. So there's an elevator on your side, an elevator on the other side. And you can hear the sounds, what it sounds to be other elevators. But she leads you down the hall to that first turn, makes a right, goes down to the end of that hall, makes a right again, and then she's at the apartment because she's right on the corner. So she has like the end unit in this like particular setup. But along the way, you see like emergency exits and stuff, and or like the emergency exit signs and like fire extinguishers and things. It is incredibly awkwardly quiet, like unnaturally quiet, or so you think. Like it's just like the walls are super thick, the floor is super thick, the carpeting in the hallway seems to be just like a little extra padded so that you can't hear yourself walk even. It's just like
Weird.
really very quiet. It would be peaceful if it wasn't like so quiet you're not even sure if you spoke if anyone would hear you, right? And that's
What?
sort of thing.
Ophelia.
When you speak, you can be heard. Like it isn't a thing,
Of
but
course, of
it
course.
has that feeling like you might not be.
Hey, what the fuck?
What?
This is wrong.
Yeah, I told you. Like, it's quiet. You can't really hear much of what's going on, which is both a good and a tad bit suspicious. But it also means that we aren't going to.
You've met a neighbor? Just
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, couple. We go down to the gym. Me and my next door neighbor. We go down to the gym on the bottom floor.
I don't like it.
It's
It's quiet.
It's quiet,
It's
but
cheap.
it's cheap, and it's not a bad place. I can't really shut on it too much, like neighbors are quiet. They leave me alone. Other than my next door, which I should introduce you to him. He's pretty cool. Like I said, go down to the gym every day. But it's quiet. Nobody bothers you. Everybody minds their own fucking business, and like I don't know. Laundry chute's cool, and the apartment, for what it's worth, is pretty spacious.
I know that you are involved in law enforcement, but like, is this apartment designed for the criminal element?
I don't know. I can't really say much. Yes, I was in law enforcement,
Sure.
but you literally just saw me like a couple hours ago.
My point being, I don't know. I don't bad vibes. Quiet, useful vibes.
Very useful.
Bad
Very
vibes.
useful, very creepy. I get it. Like I said, people kind of tend to avoid this place like the plague, which is why it's perfect for somebody like me.
Fair enough. What's let's get the shit out of the van, I guess.
I open my door. I don't take out an actual like key. It's just like the little um it's like a digital code that I put in and
Mm-hmm.
open the door.
Yeah, it's like there's like a key reader and stuff there, so you know
Yeah.
you can just
Whoever
Bleep.
they know when you leave your house every day and come home, and when you park your car, and
Mhm.
probably what temperature you keep your bathroom at.
And if they pay much, they can see another show.
Oh my
Oh.
god!
Joking.
Is that why you need it quiet?
Do you want to find out?
Whoa, hey, I'm just here to kill monsters.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Of
Don't
course,
worry.
of course.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna try to kill you again.
Pull up.
What? I mean, not kill.
I thought we were
lightly-
past that, man.
I've got my walker drone like with some books like strapped to the sides. Turned faces.
Yeah. Down dog. Could you watch like the drones and shit too? Like, I know that there's an old woman who lives like 3 doors down. She gets freaked out by technology a lot. I don't know. She's kind of
In this place?
I don't know. Okay, listen. Like I said, it's cheap and not many people live here.
This place shouldn't be cheap. This isn't.
This place
something-
really shouldn't be cheap, but
Something's wrong. I'm deleting all of it tonight.
deleting all of it tonight. Okay.
You're on.
If you get us kicked out of my apartment,
Nah. We're good. We'll be fine.
No such thing.
Joseph,
We're not gonna get kicked out.
Joseph,
I'm good at what I do.
Joseph, do not get me kicked out of my apartment.
Fine. I'm in danger.
No, but listen, it's like I said, it's kind of creepy. Sure, a lot of technology, a lot of whatever. But if you think about it, unless your phone's like encrypted and stupid shit, like people literally follow you around all day because GPS.
Yeah, but I don't know. Are they selling your data? Is that why it's so cheap here?
I would have to check my lease, but I don't think I signed the you can sell my data to the government package yet.
I know a lawyer. Anyway, yeah, I think we get it. Yeah, I don't want our team to take all the rest of the night.
Yeah, especially because I got a date tonight with a woman in a chicken shack. So.
Oh yeah, that's kind.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is the situation you find yourself in as you get to the apartment and you begin to unpack. It, like I said, it is a bit strange for you, and you're right. They are tracking all of this data, and the question is, what are they doing with it? It is a thing that seems a bit odd to you, but it is Ophelia's place of living. It is a safe house. It does require key fob access, so it is actually legitimately safe. Like, you only came in because you were accompanied by her. If you didn't have her, you'd be using your skills to try to get through, and your skills are pretty good, so you were able to do it, but most people don't have your skills, right? So they're probably not going to get in. They're going to pull on the door and, eventually walk away. So, yeah. Now, for Dr. Dreyfus and Alex, who are hanging out at the college, you have a vastly different experience from the quiet, extra quietness that is the apartment building that Ophelia lives in. In fact, you are on a busy campus. It is strange that it's so busy. This is like a one step above a community college here, but yet somehow it is pretty busy and full. And everybody on campus, like is with many community colleges, they think they're in real college. But they are, you know, acting like college students. There's a bunch of people that are talking about, hey, you guys gonna go to the party next weekend? Or like, yo, last night I threw up in the shrimp broil and no one noticed, and like other things like that, right? You have people talking about their classes, people talking about the professors, people like walking around. There's the sound of heels all over the concrete between the buildings, and there's several buildings. But what you find, there's a college, there's a coffee shop on campus. But Dr. Dreyfus, Martin,
Yes.
there's some stuff here that definitely seems a bit odd. Now that you're finally on campus, there's some symbolism in and around the building. So what you're seeing is you kind of keep seeing these motifs that suggest like a hero's journey, and like around, and there's not just like you know, like there's basically, like, as with a lot of these buildings, there's some kind of like carvings near the top, around the edges, and things that are like pomegranates, or like, you know, weird, just like circles or something. And there's, you know, the false doors and stuff, right? The facades and things. Typical architecture things, but all of these start to, in your mind, sort of form like they're linked together. Like whoever built them it wasn't just because, oh, that looks nice, let's put it here. It was like they were trying to tell you something. There is a story that they're trying to tell.
Well, if it is looking like the hero's journey, I'll definitely spend some time looking at it a little bit closer to see what story is it trying to tell me.
Gotcha. So the story that it's trying to tell you is somebody traveling through a cavern, the underworld, right? To gain something and then come out the other side the hero. And that's the story. It's the classic hero's journey style.
Okay.
That it's telling you. But the symbols, like, they all start coming together to be like, if you were to stand in the center of the common area and just start looking around, you could trace from one end to the other end of a person starting the journey, going to the underworld, getting the thing, coming back, and then being back to their life, now renewed as a different person. And then it repeats, right? So it creates a cycle.
Mm-hmm. What are these symbols on a building, or are they on like the, you know, carved into the sidewalk? What is?
They're actual artistic designs that were made when they built the building. So like the brick, like the brick facades and things. And like I said, like the images, like sort of, there's like a on one of the buildings there's gargoyle like things, but they're not like gargoyles, they're like people. And like one looks like it's like trying to hand something to the other, and you get that's the mentor, right? And like this kind of stuff. And on another building, it's just like various what appear to be fruits and things, but you can tell that this is a field, and this is like the passage through, right, the river and that kind of thing.
Okay, so what buildings are they? Like, I'm gonna try and find like a campus map or something like that, or like, you know, I'll go to the bookstore maybe and get one.
Yeah.
And what I want to see is what buildings are keyed to what symbols, like
Sure.
which stages of the journey.
Am I present for this?
He's doing all of this, and it takes a little while. So you are present for the beginning of this, and then you're like, well, I gotta go meet my person when he goes off to start finding the key.
You probably just see me like notice something and start looking, and then I just start going into my world, and I probably don't even notice you leave.
Like, is somebody watching us? Wait.
No,
No?
these, yeah, and I start with, well, this here, matches perfectly with the image of Orpheus as the guide into the underworld, and then
Mhm.
I go into this long
Oh,
thing,
look at the
and then I,
time.
and then I like as I look over my shoulder when I'm done, you're gone. Like I don't even notice you leave.
Yeah. You
Maybe
start rattling off.
there's
One of them would
probably
have been one of the more interesting speeches, and I'm just like,
there's when you do look back to look for Alex, there's actually another random person standing there that's like taking notes and was like, "Is this gonna be on the test, Professor?"
He thought they were having class outside today. He just hasn't showed up.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen you in class lately. Who's your advisor?
And he just kind of walks off. I gotta go to class, sir.
I chuckle to myself.
classy exit.
And take my IP. Yeah, so I'm gonna try. That's I think my first step is because if something weird is going on in this campus, this also counts as something weird. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. So I will. We'll cover that in a minute. We'll go to Alex and come back to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Alex, you go to the coffee shop at the arranged time, and you're looking for a lay-in. You go in. There's a bunch of kids, a bunch of very young people, hanging around, drinking coffee. Some are working on computers. Some are chit-chattering. Some are trying to flick paper footballs at each other. So some people are hanging out. Some people are trying to work. There is one person. She's dressed in typical sort of like loose t-shirt, kind of yoga pants type lady. Typical older lady kind of garb, like a mom, like a mom garb. And she's sitting off to the side, drinking coffee. And that's everyone that's in this place.
I ask if I go up to her and I'm like, are you? What was it? We say Elaine. Yeah, I forget the name.
Leanne.
Leanne.
Like Leanne, but like spelled funny.
Cool.
Right. She's like, oh yeah, yes I am. Are you?
Alex. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hey. Have a seat. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Real quick, I forget how I set up this meeting.
You
I feel like I gave her some pretense.
You spoke to her on the phone, and you told her that her dude was dead, basically, because she thought you were him, because you were calling the last number on the phone, or one of the last numbers, the number that was like frantically calling that phone a bunch.
Right.
And it turned out to be her. You told her that he was dead and that you wanted to talk to her about it and, maybe ask him questions and whatnot. And she was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. So she agreed to meet you. And you look like you're a college student, albeit a bit punky, but not like a college student, but like you look like you're the college age, right? So you could just be that rebellious college student who went to camp, like showed up at campus, checked in, got her dorm, and then shaved her head, right? Like that student.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for coming down. I don't know if you're around campus all that much, so I appreciate it.
No, my kids aren't old enough for that yet.
Sorry to hear that. Well, sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know this fellow super well, but he seemed decent. Hard worker.
I mean, yeah, he was a hard worker, but he was kind of a dick. But he was a cute dick, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know the type. A little opportunistic, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I told you I wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, do you have everything you need? You got your coffee, you want like a bagel or something?
Oh no, I'm good. Like I ate, after I dropped the kids off at school, I ate. Um,
Okay.
yeah, my husband, he knew something was up and he got me a bagel and some, it's a cheat day, I guess. He was supposed to get me like avocado and like fruit, but he brought a bagel back and some cream cheese. So.
Okay. Nice of him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he he was a construction worker, right?
Yeah, yeah, he worked for Lancaster Construction.
Yeah. Did he ever talk to you about what he was working on?
He worked on
Or
a
get
couple
into
of
it?
things. Yeah, no, he worked on a couple of things. He was working at renewals. That's where I met him. But he before that, or I guess after that. No, it was kind of before that. I don't know. Anyway, he was here working on that monstrosity of apartment building that they just finished nearby.
Disgusting.
Yeah, but there was a couple of other projects, some small things here and there. He was mostly like a finishing guy. So he was like in like after they'd actually built the thing and he was like putting up like just, painting the walls and like, putting up spackling and whatever. Helped with putting up drywall, from time to time. That was sort of what he did.
Okay. Cool. So he didn't work out on and I kind of tell the location of the dig site.
No, I think that he had gotten. There was some kind of promotion. He and his friends were partying pretty hard because I think, if not him, most of them had gotten promoted to that job. Like they'd proved that they could do other jobs and do them well or whatever, so they'd gotten promoted to that. But like I was a
These
little worried about it, like him doing it because of the protesters. Like the all of that nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah. Um these friends, do any
Mm-hmm.
of these names sound familiar? And I mentioned a couple of the other people from the burned out shack.
Yeah, yeah. That's them. They used to all hang out together.
Okay. Okay. Um can you tell me anything more about these protesters? Like they oppose the dig,
Yeah,
they're environmental
yeah, they're
activists, right?
environmental activists that are opposed to the dig. They're, believe that like that whole island should just be left alone. Um, like why disturb the peace and comfort of nature or whatever. They're pretty aggressive about it too. Like they will take boats out into the bayou and like try to block the construction guys from coming over on their boats. All that stuff that like Greenpeace does. It's a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. Uh, okay. Well, why that location specifically? I
Why
guess,
why the island?
I mean, I guess there's development all over the place, right?
Right.
They focus on this particular island.
Yeah.
Uh, can I just like pull up my phone and look them up real quick?
The protesters?
Yeah.
There's a bunch
So
of you can look it up. Yeah, it's not hard. There's a
I
bunch of articles from the various local newspapers talking about it.
cool. My main thought, and I just want to rule this out for myself before I continue questioning,
Mm-hmm.
is that the protesters are they connected to Mama Gigi?
They are not. No, they're just random
Okay.
people. They're like clusters of random people. Some employed and just taking the day off for it. Some unemployed. There's like some arrests that have been made, and they range from anywhere between like 50 and like 15, right?
Okay.
But yeah, no, and they don't seem to have any particular ethnic background or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So he worked for Barons and Lancaster, did a couple of projects.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you two know each other?
Not that long. A couple of months, I guess. I mean, we were pretty close. We were all kind of part of a club that hung out together.
And what was that club? If I
Just a just a club of people hanging out. And she gets really guarded, and she realized she gave up some information. She's like, "Yeah, no, it's fine.
Look,
Just some friends.
I'm not
Just some
I'm not a
friends that like
reporter.
hang out. Okay."
Is real quick. Is she being guarded because this is an embarrassing secret, or because this is a thing she could get in trouble for talking about?
You could what is it? Is it insight? Is that what it is? Yeah, you can make it a wits and insight roll to see if you can kind of tell.
Cool. Like, I'm getting the vibe that it's the latter, but let's be relatively 2 successes.
Okay. You're not sure what she's sort of why she's hiding it. You get the feeling that it's because it's not something that she should have mentioned, because she also mentioned that she has a husband and kids and stuff, and he was definitely
Yeah.
a single dude.
Yeah. Ma'am, I'm purely interested in the professional side of this. I'm not looking to cause any personal trouble for anybody. What you do with your time is your business, as long as it doesn't pertain to these events and this tragic incident.
Yeah. Are you a cop then? You don't look like a cop.
More of a private investigator.
Oh, okay. Pretty young for a private investigator, aren't you?
I get that a lot.
I guess you do.
Yeah, I do appreciate what you've told me. It's been pretty helpful. When was the last time you heard from? I forgot his name.
Don't call him Latrine. That seems bad.
Nope. When was the last time you
Laverne?
heard from Laverne and his friends?
Oh, well, they were all over. Okay, like, I'm just came out that we have kind of this club with a bunch of other women like myself who are kind of bored with our relationships, and we all kind of get together with these guys, and we have kind of parties. Yeah. We had one on Friday. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thursday or Friday. It had to have been Thursday, because the kids were at soccer earlier in the day, and I got a text from them saying that they wanted to have like a party, and LMA was all into it. She's been like super like into these guys. She's like younger than the rest of us. She lives 2 doors over.
Mhm.
And and Bria, she was like really into it too. So I remember that there was like this epic, like this big texting thing going on between all of us, because
Right.
like Connie was like, I don't know, guys, maybe we should stop this, and Jennifer was like, oh, but like these guys keep us young and fit, and like and Ashley, she was
Mhm.
like, yeah, they always really like me, like, cause she's she used to be a model, and so there she just like likes the like people noticing her.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it must have been Thursday, and because I was with the kids at soccer,
Right.
and so it would have been midnight Thursday night that we would have all got to, because we always do it like much later in the night, so that way like we don't get caught.
Right. Okay. Thank you. You said 2 doors down. Do you live in the new building?
No, are you kidding? No, I would never live in that place.
Okay. I suppose I assumed apartments when you said 2 doors down.
Oh no, I meant 2 houses. I just
Okay.
live over in the suburbs over there, off Franklin
Cool.
Street.
Cool. Off Franklin. Last question. Might be a little strange. The last party you were at, was there like lotion? Like some new lotion thing that the guys might have brought?
The guys, I don't think they even liked lotion.
Maybe a new drug, a new like
Drug? No, there was no drugs. There were no drugs.
okay. More
Though,
of an alcohol
though,
and
though we, like, there was lotion. Now that I think about it, because Jennifer had brought all of the stuff from Newell's, and like we were like trying it out because some of us, so we can all afford to go there, but some of us don't like paying the like every time you go spa fee kind of thing. So someone gets a bunch of the supply of the lotions that like they're like $75 per bottle. Can you believe that?
yeah, it's crazy.
And so we were just we were trying it out. We were just like taking treatments for free essentially.
Do you remember the brand or the name?
No, it's just
What it's
that proprietary stuff that they make over it, or that they have at Renewals.
And is that from? I'm actually gonna like pull out a picture. Was it this?
Yeah. That's it. The Basilisk stuff, right? Yeah.
Well, okay. Good to know. Thank you. That weirdly it might be connected. You've been super helpful. And I want to say that I appreciate that. I appreciate your honesty and your clarity and your willingness to just come out here and sit down with me.
I mean, you're a private investigator, so even if I tried, you'd just take pictures of me cheating on my husband, and then he would find out. So, like, whatever, I guess.
I was straight up. I was really gonna try not to play that card, but this is the hard.
Now you don't. Now you don't have to.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a list of partiers. Husbands don't find out, but other people were near Laverne shortly before he died, and I need to be able to talk to them. So, and I take out an empty composition book and a pencil. It's like, I need a list. Everyone who was there last Thursday.
Can't do that. But how about this? This will be better. I'll call them all together to tell them that we need to talk because, obviously Laverne is dead, but I also haven't heard from the other boys, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just shaken up from, finding out Laverne was dead.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'll get the girls together, and how about you just you just come talk to us there, and just come meet us. Because then you can just talk to them straight, right? Like you did with me.
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
you don't need any names, and none of that gets shared. You can just talk to them directly, and then get the information you need.
In fact, we could even do another level of anonymity. An online call, cameras off, voices only.
Oh yeah, we could definitely do that. Though I will say some of them are dumb and don't know how to do that, but I'm sure you'll get like cameras turned on accidentally or whatever.
I have a guy who can help me set that up.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I mean, I'll call Ella. She's the youngest. She could probably help us all figure it out. So we could probably get that going.
Thank you.
Or Ashley, she knows a lot too. She just, mostly about how to work your phone and turn it into a camera and take selfies.
It's an ever-growing skill. Popular field. Well, again, I'm sorry this tragedy has come into your life. And I hope it's the last.
Thanks.
For a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Need anything from me?
I'm gonna need to know how I can get a hold of you so we can set up this online camera thing.
Text.
Yeah.
There
All
you go.
right. Yeah. I'll figure out. We probably, if it's just on computer, I don't know. I could even do it. I don't know if tonight's good enough. I got to take the kid to. It's probably tomorrow's probably gonna be when this will happen.
For sure.
Because I got to talk to them anyway, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a hold of some of them.
Right.
To tell them, hey, someone wants to talk to you about the guys, right? Like that we used to sleep with, right? Like it's like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a
It's
private conversation.
It's tough for me to ask to you. It's tough for you to ask to them.
Yeah.
None of this is the most comfortable thing we could be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for talking to
Have a
me.
good
Yeah.
Have a good afternoon. Yeah. And I will probably grab a coffee on my way back out onto the campus
Mm-hmm.
and just text the rest of you. We have more milk victims, acquiring a list. And that can be the end of my scene for now.
It would be, except that as you come out of the coffee shop, you send the text, and you're get your coffee. You're texting and walking and holding your coffee, as people of young people are wont to do sometimes, and you end up slamming into a person in front of you, spilling the coffee all over the place. And the person you run into just so happens to be a young girl who you've met before, and she's like, watch it get you.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Fucking god damn it.
Oh.
I don't remember anybody's names. Where's my NPC name list?
Alda Potter is her name.
Alda.
Yeah, the girl that works at the Red Roof Motel.
Cool. I'm just gonna look at her for a minute. What?
You just spilled a bunch of coffee on me.
Yeah. What? Now I gotta get another one.
Cool. Yeah, real neat. Are you trolling for guys on campus now?
Aside from spilling coffee, what did I ever do to you?
Nothing. You're just too dumb to really understand. It's fine.
God damn.
And she starts to walk off. At this point, you notice that she's walking toward one of the buildings, but then she looks at something and then turns to walk away, like she was going to go into the building, but then doesn't want you to see her walk into it. The thing it's a structure more than a building, and the structure appears to be some kind of gardening shed, like a gardener's tool shed.
I hate that I have to follow up on this.
And that will be the end of your scene.
Cool.
As we go.
I'm gonna beat up a teenager, you guys. It's gonna happen.
Let's go.
All right.
We're going to go back to Dr. Dreyfus. Dr. Dreyfus, you wanted to find out what the buildings were.
I'm gonna run.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Is one of them, an administrative building, or the School of Journalism, or what have you.
Yeah. So the 5 buildings, they are one is an administrative building, one is a liberal arts building, one is a science building, one is the library, and then one is the technologies building.
All right. So given that it's 11:20 my time in the real world, maybe just send me which images were attached to which buildings.
Sure.
Offline. But I'm gonna make a note of it and then proceed to travel to the psychology department. What is the symbol on that building?
That building is the symbol of somebody acquiring. Whoa, we just dropped. I guess perhaps Everett left. Awkward. All right, we'll just continue the audio for now. Yeah, so we'll just finish the audio and then we will actually end here soon.
Okay.
The science building is the building with the person obtaining the thing underground, the underworld obtainment thing.
Okay.
That's the symbols that appear on that building.
Interesting. All right. So I will definitely go in to find the psychology department, and let me go back and see who I am supposed to hit up. Oh, it doesn't have a name.
No.
But yes, I will still look for the psych department and see if the department chair is. Now, was it the psych? When you said the psych department, do you mean the academic psych department or the like counseling center?
No, the academic psych department also acts as the counselor.
It's got a clinic. It's
yeah.
got a clinic within it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna find the director of the clinic part of it and kind of see if I can get on his calendar.
Sure. He is out for whatever reason, but you're easily able to talk to his secretary and like the person that sort of keeps that together and then get you on the calendar to sit down and talk with him. But he is currently not in right at the moment.
Okay.
But she says the reason he's not in is because he's currently having lunch with or meeting with, not necessarily, it's lunch on the calendar, but you're not sure that it's actually, she's not sure it's actually lunch. Like he's just hanging out with Dr. Octavian, who's in town for a special lecture.
Interesting.
Doc Ock? Spider-Man?
I know it was, it was kind of important. Do you know if I could drop in on them?
I don't think so. If I understand correctly, the doctor's at Dr. Malkavian's home residence or his temporary residence. He's staying in town at some friend's place. And so he's visiting there. Maybe I don't think I would be able to like give you that information because it's a third person's like personal private information.
Understood.
But I know that they often meet with this friend at the Bowling Pin Diner for dinner on most weekends or most evenings actually, because apparently they like the food there.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That is good information. But yes, let him know that I called upon him and that I was referred by Dr. Gringon up at Centenary College of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Just to stop in and consult. They wanted my expertise on a particularly tough case.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'll let him know, and then we can work it out. And you can be able to meet with him and have the conversation you would like to have.
Yes, and if he comes back before the end of the day, I mean, I know the academic, schedule is not always a typical 9 to 5. If he comes back today, if he has time and can give me a call, we can start the process.
Make a little. I'm gonna see if you can see something. Make a wits and awareness roll, I guess, to see if you can catch something as she's typing it into the computer. Some notes she's making.
Okay. Alrighty. Fine. Will this count for desperation?
Yeah, we'll give it to you.
All right. 5 successes.
Not
All
bad,
right.
not bad.
You catch the glimpse that the person that he's meeting after you is Waylon Biggs, and that has notes on it, and it says like Representative U.S. Congress.
Does it say where it is?
Yeah, it does. He's meeting him in his office, as a matter of fact.
What's the guy's name that I'm trying to meet with?
That's a good question. It's an unnamed NPC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At unnamed NPC or Waylon Biggs' office?
Waylon Biggs' office,
Oh, okay. Okay.
which is downtown.
I'm sure. That's a Google search away.
Yeah.
Okay. I will take that under advisement and go from there.
And so, with some new leads and some new directions to go, does anyone have any last bits they want to say before we end the session for today?
No.
Okay.
It's good to be
Then-
back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the next game will be a month from now, so we'll see you all in 30
All
days.
See
Where
you
you
in
can-
November.
Yeah, where you can continue the story and lead potentially down more roads that lead to the final road of stuff. So goodbye, everyone.
Finality.
Yeah, thanks for joining us all.
Goodbye. And
I don't
Hello.
know about that. You should just leave it in.
Yeah, it's a fun extra little side piece.
Everyone
Oh,
needs a
yeah.
side piece.
Yeah, of course.
it's a interesting choice of words.
Yeah,
Another Freudian
I
slip.
already,
Another Freudian slip.
Ophelia got
I'm-
someone back home she's not telling us about.
Don't worry about it.
Legacy dropping boners and side pieces and their secret
kinda
life.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
Release the boner cut.
Hashtag release the boner cut.
That's just with circumcision.
Listen. I'm great with my words in and out of character. Is all I'm saying.
If there are drain the swamp T-shirts, the
Boner
front needs to
cut.
have the logo. The back says release the boner cut.
Oh. Yeah. Again,
I'm so
if you
happy I
came here
joined the
for-
team.
Right? If you
So
came
are
here for a
we.
dark brooding podcast, we're sorry.
Yeah, this is a dark, serious
Yeah.
show about hunting monsters in the bayou, about saving child sacrifices, and also boners and side pieces.
Yeah.
That should be our disclaimer, right? That's how it ends now.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah, I mean, you just
it's a
described
serious
this.
game played by very not serious.
Not serious people.
I mean,
Yeah.
you were basically just describing every CW series that's ever made, right?
Take that, CW.
Got him.
They're gonna copyright claim us. so
Cancelled.
fucking fast.
This will be the last episode. Bye, everyone.
No, this
like
is-
aping supernatural. It's just
Fair
a
use.
frivolous lawsuit.
100% fair use. We're good.
Mm,
No, my character's name is Ween Dinchester. Totally different.
Lean Dinchester. Let's go.
Such a terrible name.
Wait, it's Weeds. I brought it back. Oh God, we can't escape. It's dongs all the way down.
Oh my god. I feel so bad for our poor storyteller. He's had to see me on 3 separate occasions BMS this past week.
This is what TTRPGs are for.
Well, first it was boner phones, and then it was me just choking a man out in the middle of his stream, and then getting called Dommy Mommy. And
God
now
bless.
it's this, yeah. Are you happy I playing your games yet, Scott?
Are you not entertained?
To be totally fair, you kicked us off on that one, but we kept it going.
He's
So we
sitting here
returned
like,
from a
"Okay,
break.
time to
we returned from we returned